All right, we're moving on to the Great Tribulation part of the week, and we're wondering if the fifth seal is going to show up in the Great Tribulation part of the week. Here's the beginning of sorrows, 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, deception, war, famine, and pestilence. Let's see. Let's continue reading what happens after the beginning of sorrows in Matthew 24. Let's read. Then they will deliver you up to tribulation and shall kill you. Did anybody know what the fifth seal was? Read in the fifth seal in Revelation chapter 6, I believe. And it's martyrdom. The martyrs under the altar cry out, Lord, how long are you not going to avenge us? How long, Lord? Interesting question they ask. How long? But anyway, martyrdom. Isn't this martyrdom? And shall kill you. So Christ does continue the theme of using the seals. Fascinating when I first saw this. Deception, war, famine, and pestilence are beginning of sorrows. Martyrdom. Is that not a theme of great tribulation? Certainly it is. A theme that will greatly continue, especially during that time. Let's continue reading here. And you will be hated by all nations for my name's sake. Many false prophets will rise up and shall deceive many. And this gospel of the kingdom will be preached in all the world as a witness to all the nations. And then the end will come. There are 2 witnesses in the book of Revelation whose job it is to preach the gospel of the kingdom to all the world as a witness. And they'll be hated by all nations for Christ's sake. Then the end will come. So we have our 2 witnesses. The gospel is preached to all the world. And attempts are being made on their life, by the way. And God protects them from being killed. In fact, if anybody tries to kill them, they'll be killed by fire. So certainly great tribulation here, martyrdom of the saints. But the 2 witnesses are protected because they have a job to do. And that's why God protects them. And then the end will come, the consummation that Gabriel tells us about. Okay, let's continue reading about great tribulation here. Therefore, when you see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet. Now, these verses were about great tribulation, but in Matthew 24, verse 9 through 14, we get a little focus on the great tribulation part of the week, especially for those who are living in Judea. They have special instructions because they need to get out of there. They need to flee, right? So we get a little focus in here on the great tribulation part of the week. And again, we have false Christs, false prophets, great signs and wonders to deceive, if possible, even the elect. Okay, so that certainly is our themes of great tribulation there. So, our point is still the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, the first 4 seal. There's the 5th seal in great tribulation. Wow, that's amazing to me. I mean, it's not amazing, it's the Word of God, but it still amazes me and gives me chills when I think about it. Now, I wonder if the 6th seal is mentioned as well. We've had the first 5 seals, and I've heard people talk about that before. You never hear much talk about the 6th seal, do you? It's a pretty important seal that is opened, and we'll get to it. I want to get to that in the next video. But keep in mind, we've studied the beginning of sorrows, the first 4 seals. Great tribulation is the 5th seal, and next we're going to look at what happens after the tribulation of those days.